Charles has no obligation to use the money to silence Meghan. Harry's divorce must be made public. As we've already discussed, it looks like Harry and Meghan really are on the brink of divorce, and Meghan is trying to force King Charles to pay to be able to free that poor prince. And naturally, many people are really upset about this news. The history of the royal family has been to pay demanded funds to finally settle a dispute instead of dragging something through the courts and the media. And until Meghan came along, I was really understanding about all this. She needed somebody to take her to task. She should never have been allowed to push her wedding date up so early, or to go against the Queen's wishes when it came to her wedding dress, that messy hair, not wearing tights, etc. I suspect that if somebody had stopped her early on, then maybe she just would have given up and quit, or at least figured out that she wouldn't be able to get away with the games that she tries to play. So after a big, lavish wedding and $1 million worth of clothing and travel expenses, and a lot of embarrassment and cruelty to the royal family, now Meghan expects to get some big payout. Ugh, wonders never cease, do they? I don't even want to think about what the moral of this disgusting fairy tale is. I mean, what would little girls learn when they hear about this story? If the palace chooses to do the right thing by making the bullying report public first and foremost, and admitting what they know and have known the whole time about the invisible children, then let's see what happens. But if the king decides to pay Meghan, then I think a trade-off needs to be made. Any NDA needs to be both ways. The British royal family needs an NDA for Meghan as well. And please, no more books, no more films, no docu-series. And if Meghan does say a single thing, then I think the gloves should come off and the world gets to hear every little thing. Her entire life story is the lot. And if Harry makes it through this sham, if he ever gets married again, if he can produce his first legitimate child, then where is that child going to be sitting in the line of succession? Now, I don't think the royal family is thinking this through enough. The truth is going to come out, and along with that, Charles's weakness. It's going to show the scam of the invisible children for what it really is. I mean, whatever it is, that they don't exist, that they use surrogates, whatever. There is something up with that. Now, Harry can claim that Meghan tricked him or she was blackmailing him, whatever. Perhaps he can claim that it's all down to mental illness. He's going to have to lay low, though, in the UK at least, because at this point his approval rating is in the gutter, and I don't think he's going to come back easily from that. I've got an idea. Maybe the two disgraced princes, Andrew and Harry, can share a cottage somewhere in the countryside. As for the royal family, well, I think it would be pretty easy for them to say that they did not expose Meghan and Harry's lies because of the consequences. I suspect that they didn't expose Meghan and Harry's deceit because they were concerned about Harry's mental health. Would he OD if it all came out? Perhaps accidentally, maybe on purpose? And if Meghan twists things to make it look like Harry just walked away from the fake kids, then it's going to make him look like a cold, uncaring father. You know what they say, the truth will set you free, and I believe that. It's time for Harry to come clean, and I really hope that he doesn't give in to Meghan's greedy ways. I think this was all planned from the very beginning to get her more money. After all, that is the only thing she cares about, well, that and fame. I just don't know, though, when we're going to have heard the last from her. I don't think Charles is going to be rid of her very easily. Unless they shut her down using legal methods with airtight locks on her mouth, Meghan is always going to be a threat. £100 million is never going to be enough for her. She's going to spend that so quickly, and then she's going to be right back. I think it would be better, actually, if Charles just insisted that they had to produce the kids. It's time to just rip off that Band-Aid, and then we can finally move on. It does seem like Charles is being a bit naive here. He might be enjoying that popularity right now, but as the truth starts to come out, he is going to be tainted with much loss of respect of the people, because people are going to come to understand that they have been duped and that King Charles was involved in it. And then his darling boy has learned absolutely nothing. He's been saved again, I think, and I don't think William's going to be very happy about it. But then in a few years, of course, he's going to be calling the shots, and Harry's probably not going to be very happy about that. Surely the king will not give her any money. I mean, Harry's the husband after all, and it needs to be Harry who pays her divorce settlement. The truth is, there's no parent out there who is legally obligated to pay for their children's divorces, and why should he be? Another thing is that the monarchy exists by the will of the people, and nobody understands that better than Charles. The public are not going to put up with a $100 million settlement to a bimbo like Meghan. Typically, royals never sign prenups, so Meghan's gonna get what she's entitled to from Harry's assets, and not a penny more than that. Charles is a very wealthy man, but at the same time, he's not infinitely wealthy. Every cent that he has is carefully accounted for, and the royal family is also notoriously tight with money for reasons offered above. So no, the king does not need to pay off Meghan. She was always going to disappear eventually, and most of us realized that from the very beginning. She is Harry's mess to deal with. I can assure you, most members of the royal family would hate to see her paid off. And there's actually another reason. Harry and the rest of the family are desperate to get rid of her once and for all. Meghan is nothing but trouble, and she's going to continue to make trouble if she does not get what she wants. She's extorting them with that lie about the invisible kids, and the king is giving in to that lie by paying her off in order to get Harry his divorce. And if he really believes that an NDA is going to force her to keep her mouth shut, then he really is naive, because she just can't help herself. She has to leak information and talk about other people. That is the only leverage that she has, after all, or at least thinks she has. Harry was the one who wanted to jump into Meghan Markle's cesspit, and he's played in it, slinging the filth around all over his family. And now, as always, it looks like Harry's going to be cleaned up and polished by somebody else. He's nearly 40 years old, and it looks like he has learned precisely nothing in all those years. I think, though, the truth is eventually going to come out, and it's going to make the king look bad, and Meghan knows that. She's been wanting to destroy the monarchy this whole time, and she's going to play it for all it's worth. I suspect she already has. Last time I checked, Harry was also a fully grown man when he made the choice to marry her. The truth about the children needs to come out. At this rate, Harry's never going to learn anything whatsoever about responsibility, about consequences. Why do they keep treating him like he's a little boy? All this covering up for his bad behavior needs to stop. The people of Great Britain deserve to know the truth, especially after the way both of them have insulted the monarchy, insulted the intelligence of the people of the UK, and the entire Commonwealth too. Both of them are disgusting sleazeballs, and they'll do anything to make money other than, of course, work. At Harry's age, if he still cannot learn his lesson from all this, then when will he start to learn? I mean, she insulted his grandparents, his father, his brother, and everybody she could possibly hurt with her nasty, baseless accusations. But he was the one who stood there and enabled her. So if you ask me, Harry deserves everything that is coming his way. Meghan Markle is not in this all by herself. Harry's right there with her. He has provided most of the nonsense they have thrown at the royal family. Harry has always been a little turd. I mean, were none of you around to watch him grow up? The palace PR made up that fun prince persona, obviously. They were paid a lot of money to try to rehabilitate his image and repair his reputation, to make excuses and cover up his horrible behavior. His drunken bar fights and his drug-fueled shenanigans are all out there. He would fight, he would even beat up bar owners. He would destroy their property. Charles had to pay a lot of money to the tune of millions to silence many of those people and replace their property. And Meghan this whole time has just been using Harry for fame and fortune. Everybody knows that. She just let Harry remove the mask and show who he really is. She's really not to blame for anything except pushing his already jealous hatred toward his family because she didn't get what she wanted. I believe that all the dirt hidden by the security services on Meghan should be exposed. Let that bullying document come out, and let the scam of the invisible children be exposed for whatever it is. Take her down and take Harry with her. I don't think Harry will ever be accepted by the British public again as a working royal, especially because of all the pain that he caused Her Late Majesty the Queen and Prince Philip in their last years on this earth. So let the both of them face the repercussions for their horrible deeds.